Well, good morning, everybody. Thank you all for being here. I'm Jimmy Swift, the director of the Jazz Festival, and I'd like to welcome you on behalf of our producers, the Flynn Theater for the Performing Arts and Burlington City Arts. This is the 14th annual Jazz Festival here in Burlington, Vermont. The Discover Jazz Festival was started in 1984 by Burlington City Arts and the Flynn Theater, and here we are again for one more fantastic kickoff to the festival season. Our dates this year are June 10 through 15. That's a Tuesday through Sunday, the second week of June. The warm weather is here already. I'm sure you were all out this weekend. I think we got a taste of what's to come in early June. The Jazz Festival is usually kind of the kickoff to the festival season in Burlington. We always get good weather, nary a rain out in sight, and we're looking forward to a fantastic week of music, activities, workshops, performances of all kinds all over town for 6 days in the beautiful summer weather. I'd like to make special thanks to the presenting sponsors of the festival, Skip Farrell and Pepsi Cola of Bottling Company of Burlington and the Burlington Free Press. And right now, we have a special unveiling to do, the look of this year's 14th annual 1997 Discover Jazz Festival. This is going to be revealed for you by Linda Maribel of the Burlington Free Press and Davis Bodette on behalf of Pepsi. If you would please, for the press, let's have a drum roll, some fanfare.
Well, once again, the festival has come up with a wonderful graphic that captures the musical theme. This year it's the keyboard. So it's a great pleasure that Free Press and the Gannett Foundation and Pepsi present the 1997 graphic. Keyboard Madness.
Trumpets, please.
I'd just like to say on behalf of Pepsi that we're really pleased to be involved with Sure.
Just like to say once again that on behalf of Pepsi, we're really looking forward to being involved once again with the Discover Jazz Festival this year. We're particularly pleased that the Burlington Free Press, who plays a really key role in our community here, is co-sponsoring this along with us. And we really look forward to that kicking off in June. And I think our lineup speaks for itself, which I think Jimmy talked about, and we're just really pleased to be involved again.
Thank you very much. Thanks again to the Free Press, to Pepsi. Now, I know everyone's interested in the lineup, and before you go, make sure you get one of these brochures which lists all the wonderful shows that we're putting on at the Flynn Theater and here in City Hall and in Winooski and out on Church Street and other sites. The theme this year is Keyboard Madness. So, of course, we will bring the focus on some of the best keyboard players in jazz. Right here to kick the festival off on Tuesday, June 10th, we've got the return to Burlington of Abdullah Ibrahim, this great South African pianist and composer. Some of you were probably around 10 years ago when Abdullah played at the Discover Jazz Festival. It was one of the all-time great concerts here in Burlington, Vermont. And we're really pleased to welcome him back in a special solo concert right here on the stage in Contois Auditorium. The following night, on the Wednesday of the festival, June 11th, we're pleased to also bring back to Burlington the avant-garde pianist Myra Melford with her quintet. Myra performed at the Flynn Onstage series 2 or 3 years ago to outstanding reviews. It was a fantastic concert. She does represent the avant-garde end of the piano spectrum, but Myra is grounded with a blues and gospel sensibility that makes her music very accessible. She's got a wonderful band featuring some of the best players in New York City, and that will sure to be one of the critical highlights of the festival. Friday night at the Flynn Theater, we get into the big guys. McCoy Tyner will be at the festival Friday. I believe McCoy has played in Burlington before, but it was so long ago I can't remember when. McCoy Tyner, some of you may know, came into prominence in the early 60s with John Coltrane's classic quartet. McCoy is truly one of the innovators of the jazz piano. His style pretty much wrote a whole new book on how to play piano for jazz players in the 20th century, and we're really pleased to welcome him with his quartet. The following night, Saturday, June 14th, the Hammond B3 organ legend, Jimmy Smith, makes his debut in Burlington. With his quartet, Jimmy Smith has been around for 50 years. He's had more than 45 albums. He is the legend of the jazz organ. There's no one that can touch him on that instrument in jazz. The interesting thing about Jimmy Smith is he does represent sort of the bebop generation of jazz, but there's a whole new host of fans, the Generation X, 20-something what have yous, who listen to acid jazz, are totally turned on by Jimmy Smith and are buying his records in the thousands and attending his concerts. He has become a hero to that whole new generation of jazz players. We round out the piano theme on the final night of the festival, Sunday night, June 15th, with the great New Orleans ambassador, Dr. John. Dr. John, many of you may know as the Night Tripper in the psychedelic 60s, but his career goes way back into the early 50s, where as a teenager in New Orleans, he recorded with many of the greats. He toured with people like Little Richard and Etta James. He basically represents the piano tradition of New Orleans, which goes back to Jelly Roll Morton, which goes back to Professor Longhair. In the 70s and 80s, Dr. John became a great writer of pop singles. He became a representation of traditional jazz piano, recording a number of Grammy-winning albums. And in the 90s, he is truly a legend of New Orleans piano. I'm sure all of you are going to want to see Dr. John at the festival this year. I do recommend it. And he will be at the Flynn on the final night to close out the festival. A couple other things I'd like to mention. We have dances, as usual, in Winooski on Thursday the 12th. Luther Allison, the great Chicago blues guitarist, will blow the roof off the tent in Winooski at the Champlain Mill for a wonderful dance. On Saturday night, the 14th, on the top block of the Church Street Marketplace, we welcome back the Bourbon Street Dance Hall, which many of you attended in years past. This dance will be a Latin dance party with a great group. In fact, the group, the Bronx Horns, are Tito Puente's band. We couldn't get Tito this year, but we did get his band. They go out as the Bronx Horns, and they're going to put on a fantastic Latin dance party. Some of the other events of note, we have a Dixieland cruise with the Onion River Jazz Band. We have a jam session right here in City Hall on Friday night with the Sklar Grippo Group and a bunch of special guests. Some of the invited to that jam are Jimmy Smith, McCoy Tyner, and Myra Melford. We hope they will attend. Many of the artists in past years have come to the jam and made it a really successful event. We're going to have a parade at noon on Saturday with Samba Tucata, which is 50 to 60 samba drummers marching down Church Street with a lot of kids from Very Special Arts Vermont following up in a second line. That parade will wind into the park where we'll have an afternoon of jazz with James Harvey's group, with Tom Cleary's group, and some other great local jazz players. As always, we will have jazz every day on the marketplace. The Jazz at Noon series features the best of our Vermont schools as well as some other community and professional bands. That's every day, all afternoon, right on the Church Street Marketplace. The Gospel Tent on Sunday is one of our most popular events. Folks like to flock out on North Beach, do some swimming, bask in the sun, and listen to the uplifting spiritual sounds of great gospel choirs. Also, we will be having workshops throughout the festival, music clinics, opportunities to meet these national artists, and a number of other activities of that sort. And I should not fail to mention that jazz is all over town for these 6 days. There are 30 to 40 different businesses with music happening in their venues, and literally the folks who come to town can't miss the jazz. It's everywhere as Discover Jazz Festival takes over Burlington for those 6 days. At this point, I would like to introduce Walt Levering, representing the Flynn Theater, who's going to say a little bit about the community support of the festival. Thank you, Walt.
Well, as you can see from what, what Jim has said, this is certainly one of the most successful collaboratives between any arts organization with the Flynn Theater and City Arts, and it's been going very well for a long time. As you can imagine, these people don't come here for nothing, and we certainly couldn't do it without the tremendous support we get from our sponsors. AT&T and Ben & Jerry's and Shaw Supermarket has jumped in for the first time. They're the new kids on the block, and we certainly welcome their support. To give you an idea of the depth of how this goes, Vermont Tent Company has come in, and they're giving us all the stages and all the tents, and just making a tremendous contribution this year. And we certainly couldn't do it without them. And our perennial sponsors, Pepsi, and the Burlington Free Press, has just been a tremendous success. One of the things that you may notice about the lineup this year is the depth of the talent that we're bringing in. And this festival has certainly gone from a local festival when it started to a very strong regional festival. And this is very important to those in the hotel and the hospitality industry. I don't think it'll be very long before this is a citywide sellout for that industry, and the hospitality industry has been working very hard, along with the Jazz Committee, to make this the kind of event that it really is. But we anticipate a lot of guests coming from Montreal, which is certainly a jazz center, in Quebec, as well as all over New England and New York. So it should, with this kind of talent, we should be a very, very strong, successful regional event. That's basically what I have to say. Thank you.
Next, I'd like to introduce Doreen Kraft, the Director of Burlington City Arts.
Jazz is as much an international language as it is an intergenerational dialogue, and this is very much core to the educational mission of the Jazz Festival, whether it's in the classroom or the streets, on a concert stage, jamming here at what we call Contoy's Club, or in many of the venues on the marketplace. There is eclectic, vibrant, youthful energy that infuses the American idiom of jazz, and our commitment is very strong to the young people who are in our community, and to match young and old. We say that we would like to mentor the young and to exalt our elders. This comes through in a lot of components of the festival. We have a festival artist in residence each year. One of the main stage artists is in residence. This year it is going to be Myra Melford, so she will be available in classroom and community settings to dialogue about her particular vision and jazz. We have a scholarship program where each year, this is now in its third year, we give a $1,000 scholarship to a senior student who is going to continue studying jazz in a formal setting and needs financial support. This is a very emotional event. It'll take place this year at the Friday evening show at the Flynn Theater from the stage. We have jazz at King Street. We have jazz on the marketplace at noon every day, and as Jimmy was saying, it starts at noon, it runs till about 5 in the afternoon. There are bands from all over the state, young and talented, and many of those students who began playing on the marketplace in some of these noontime concerts are now playing at some of the larger and main stage events in the festival. So there really has been that mentoring and growth and development through the festival itself, which is really truly a joy to all of us. We have Meet the Artist workshops, which take place in the afternoon at 5 before the evening show. It's an opportunity, it's about an hour long, and it's an opportunity for the community to dialogue with the artist and for us to get a little insight into what their jazz is all about. So this year I think there's something like 14 different bands from around the state that'll be playing or engaging with us in one form or another. And so please give your attention to these concerts as well. Thanks.
Well, that's all the dignitaries for now. I do want to encourage you to pick up a brochure, check out our displays. We've got press kits over here. Laura Cole is here, who's the Assistant Director of the festival, handling marketing and development. She can answer any questions you might have. But I would like to open it up to the floor for any questions for myself or any of the others who've spoken.
How does this stand out of your past? If it does, there's more events, more performers. What is unique about this year?
The unique thing about this year is the depth of talent, as Doreen pointed out, or Walt. The talent this year is stronger and better known than ever. We're already seeing ticket sales going without any real word out to the press. Folks have found out that the tickets are available and they're buying them. A lot of interest in the Flynn shows in particular. Well, the five pianists, Abdullah and Myra, are all very much known in the jazz world. And people like Dr. John is very known in the popular world. So I would say overall it is the depth of talent that stands out over other years. Other questions? Thank you so much for being here. And please mill around. You can talk to us one-on-one, and maybe we can fill you in on anything that we didn't cover already. Thanks again.